Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the born to the apostles, and that was a great millstone for teaching us its true peace and blessings to the whole of Israel. Yahweh is the name of, then for all the name Hebrew, Ba'ashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back on the lesson. And as you see within the title, going to be going to Leviathan. Now he is very, very real. And how he will be unleashed coming to these last days, as you have that movie, I forget exactly what's called, Clash of Titans, or some type of effect. But there's a particular scene in that movie where you have the person that's, I believe, pretty much playing the Most High in the movie. He says, unleash the Kraken. Well, in this case, the Lord's going to unleash or release Leviathan. Well, and a good example, depiction of what Leviathan looks like today, is Godzilla. Because where do you think they got the inspiration from to create, that type of creature? Because when you get in the scriptures, it goes into what Leviathan looks like and the things that is pretty much able to do, by breathing fire. And seeing Godzilla, he has that atomic breath. That impenetrable skin, and you get the gist. But came across this video, thought I'd make a lesson, going into it. But it's a giant water serpent / dragon found swimming in the ocean. It's getting spooky. And of course, you do have a lot of AI or CGI type videos out there, people trying to get famous and just get views. But the point still stands. Leviathan is a real creature, whether you want to believe it or not. And he will be unleashed in these last days, man. But I'm going to get this quick video, get a couple scriptures, and it shouldn't be too long.
You're not the smartest in the world, bro.
Because when you also look into the, the search of how much of the ocean has been explored, and not even, 5% of it has been explored. So you just imagine the various things that are deep under the sea that you don't even know of, Now, hopefully this devil knows something's obviously down there. Because they also have a bunch of underwater, bases and stuff. I believe they show you that in the movie Godzilla. Because of one particular scene where they're just, observing them, deep underwater.
I'm pretty sure that's Godzilla.
Because there are also, particular scenes, I'm just recalling certain points of where, they pretty much, wake them up by nuking the water, or the case may be. And you'll have at certain times, the military do these, certain tests, doing these, explosions deep underwater. For whatever, so-called reason they may say as to why they did it, but just give an example.
Tell me what y'all think, man. You can see the spikes popping up, man. I don't know, man, or it's just some kind of big serpent dragon. Like, what's going on here, bro? That can't be a bunch of dolphins, or look out, they're all in a row, bro. They'll be too small for them to be like right in front of each other. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only, man. You always gonna find something spooky in the ocean. They have yet to discover the whole ocean, bro. Do you know how big the ocean actually is? Do you know how deep the ocean actually goes? This runs into outer space. I have this debate with a lot of people. And I shouldn't have to have that. It's just a fact, bro. I do this for educational and
Well, that's the point. See, and this person said Leviathan. There you go. The person said I knew Godzilla was real. I made that point. Godzilla pretty much, it spit an image of Leviathan. Like I said, it's got a few scriptures. This is Job chapter 41. Now it's going to go to the depiction Leviathan. Now, second style, Draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with the thorn? Will he make supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Now shall thy companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou feel his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Going through, he's not some regular fish and these other creatures they see being put up via these fishing rods and spears, whatever the case may be. Verse 8: As lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle to do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at this time? You're gonna have people having heart attacks. You best believe that. Because people are gonna be bugging out in that day. Because I see people who think that this is something that you'd only see within movies, cartoons, TV shows. Like, reality's gonna be shaken, man. Especially when you're going to see a lot more of these chariots, when you actually get to see them a lot more clearer, and when the Lord especially, releases Leviathan. Now this is verse 11. As who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Verse 13. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come up to him with his double bridle? As who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together, they cannot be sundered. And you see within the movie Godzilla, all these weapons that they try to use on him to try to take him out, it all fails. Bullets bouncing off, missiles collapsing on impact. Now it says, by his kneesings the light do shine in his eyes like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. So you have fire coming out of his actual mouth. Once it's going through that so-called atomic breath that you see in the movie Godzilla. Where do you think they got the inspiration from to create that creature? Come on. Now let's see. His breath, or it's verse 20. Now out of his nostrils goes smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindles coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth, and his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of another millstone. When he raised up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth Adam cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. It's nothing to him. Verse 28. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. What's the the modern day arrow? These missiles, and on the higher scale being these ICBMs, these intercontinental ballistic missiles. But you're making that a point. You see within Godzilla, they'll shoot rockets and these other lower class missiles at him. Now verse 30, or verse 29. As the darts are counted as stubble, he laugheth at the shaking of a spear. You quite literally have a gif, or a particular scene in the movie Godzilla, I believe it's the second one, where he's literally laughing, smiling. So come on. Now the sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. And if you've seen the movie Shin Godzilla, which is another Godzilla movie, but in the beginning, when Godzilla's pretty much coming onto the scene, you see the sea around him boiling. Now it says, he maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary upon the earth. There is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. So now these other few scriptures is Psalms 104 and 26. Further add to that point, there you go, the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. So these ships that you see, these battleships that Esau has, these submarines and various other ships, all these things are pretty much rubber ducks to him. It's like you as a young child, or you may have your little one. Going to the bathroom, they'll have your little ducks or your little mini boats to play with. That's that to Leviathan. There go the ships that there's that Leviathan whom I was made to play therein. Let's get the few other translations. See what else it says. See the ships sailing along, and Leviathan which you made to play in the sea. Look at the G&T. The ships sail on it, and in it plays Leviathan, that sea monster which you made. Continue on. That's Amos chapter 9 and verse 3. And as that point I was bringing up, where the Lord is going to unleash Leviathan. Just I made that point dealing with that one movie. Where that person pretty much playing the Most High says, I believe it just says release the Kraken or unleash the Kraken. But the point still stands. Now Amos 9 and 3 and says, and though they hide themselves in top of Carmel, I will search and take him out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, because you're going to have this devil try to flee, trying to escape his judgment, but you won't be able to. One more time from my top. And though they hide themselves in top of Carmel, I will search and take him out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So there he goes. The Lord is sick Leviathan unto these devils. And you'll see various movies like dealing with these kaiju like movies, which in kaiju pretty much going into these big gigantic monsters, like for example Pacific Rim. You have robots versus these big gigantic monsters in the movie, or you have Cloverfield and these various other movies where they're always coming out of the water, or breaking that, I believe it was a Golden State Bridge. You always see similar scenes like that. So that could be another example of what you could possibly see in these last days, when Leviathan is unleashed. So you best believe that's going to be highly broadcasted, and that's going to be a sight to see, man, and be one of the biggest "I told you so" moments. Because people are gonna mock, people are gonna scoff, call us crazy. That can't possibly be real. That could never happen. That's only in movies, cartoons, TV shows. Like, we will see. We will see. But see these last two. They shouldn't be too long of a lesson. Let's get the King James. Ezekiel 33 and 33, and it says, when this comes to pass, the Lord will come, then shall know that a prophet hath been among them. Those prophets been among you, warning you of his coming times. Given that warning. Isaiah 62, 67, now it says, I have said, watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold the peace day nor night. Those watchmen are the prophets, the men of the Lord, which the Lord set up among you to warn you of his coming times. Telling you what's getting ready to unfold and take place. We're giving you the spoilers to this movie as to what's getting ready to unfold. And it says, ye that may much the Lord keep not silence, and give him the rest to establish, to make Jerusalem make praise in the earth. That's pretty much the point. Just want to make a quick lesson, go into that video. That's most definitely stuff that you're gonna see a lot more of. Because there possibly could be more than just one Leviathan we obviously had to see, but just dealing with that video, and it possibly could be fake, because you do have a lot of these CGI and AI like videos coming out nowadays. But the point still stands. Leviathan is a real creature, and he will be unleashed in these last days, whether you believe it or not. So those were the points made. I didn't close out. Give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Shem Al Shai, Shem Kakadash, and Shalom. See you next one. Lord's will.